Hello, this is Sophia Martinez with Awaken Your Soul Coaching, and I was talking about your inner battles last time we connected, and I wanted to dive into one that shows up for me a lot, and that one is that I need to have clarity about everything before I take this step and or a step into the unknown. And as I mentioned before, every time you're taking a step into something new, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Discomfort is part of the transformational journey. Look at the butterfly. So yes, it was a caterpillar, but all the process of being a caterpillar into going in here, getting completely, the whole body dissolves into the butterfly. That's uncomfortable. Every time you look at nature, every time there's a seasonal change, when you look at a tree, for example, moving from autumn, that the leaves fall, winter, spring, even spring, the discomfort of like being like, the bud opening up to the falling, there's a level of discomfort, and while at the same time it's a beautiful process. And so the more you can surrender to the discomfort, the more you're gonna feel the beauty. You know, when you like fall into something, and when you fall and you're rigid, to when you fall and you're just soft and flexible, that there's a joy to it. There's, a different way. That's why too, moving your body during this process is gonna really help you. um and so coming back coming back to clarity, and needing to have everything clear. I To me, I understood the moment that I understood that that was how resistance was showing up for me, and it was crucial to look at how I reacted when I needed to have everything clear and have clarity about everything. I don't take action until I do, and that might take a long time. And, to honor myself in many different ways, I don't need to have clarity. I just like, I feel it in my heart. My heart calls me and I dive right into it. Many, many, many things in my life, I just dive into it when the calling is so strong. And yet, when I have had experiences of deep pain in my life, then it takes me a little bit longer to just take that step, and I need a, a better sense here of the clarity within myself. And so as I discover that about me, instead of pushing and fighting myself to like push myself to do it, when there's this part of me that is deeply afraid and needs a sense of inner security and safety within myself, then I do things differently and can do different things differently and take care of myself in a different way. So then the process of moving forward, it feels more graceful and more caring for myself and my being. How do I do this? When I know that the resistance is coming up, I need to have clarity with myself. Instead of expecting that clarity to come from the outside world and to have clarity from the external, I release that. That there's no way I can control others. I can't control my environment. I can't control life itself. There's a deeper intelligence that is beyond me. What I can connect with, it's myself. And so I turn around, I walk towards home, towards myself, and I reflect and I registered. What is this resistance telling me? And what do I need to move through this in this resistance? What am I resisting? Am I resisting expansion? Am I resisting love because I've been, hurt before? How can I take care of myself? And so what has helped me throughout my life is, again, to find clarity within myself in how am I feeling in this moment. As I am feeling this resistance, what is underneath? What is the emotion underneath my resistance? And so if my calling is to move forward in this direction, what is the whole purpose of this calling, of this step? What am I gonna learn? What am I developing within myself? How is this step is gonna help me in my development? What am I exploring through this step? What am I learning about myself and life through this step? Okay, I'm changing the story. This step, it's encouraging me, it's empowering me. I'm gonna learn about my personal power. I'm gonna learn to set boundaries. I'm gonna learn to honor my heart. Okay, so now I'm starting to have clarity within myself. So as I have clarity within myself and what's the purpose of this step of following this heart calling, and I know that as I take this step, this is all what I'm going to learn about me, what I'm going to develop within me, then there's a new sense of empowerment, of direction, of um, of understanding of what am I doing and what for. And so when that comes clear, when that fully is integrated within myself, then it's easier for me to take that step because I know what's the whole purpose of it. And then because I know what's the whole purpose of it, I can register myself every moment. I take one step at a time. I check in with myself. Okay, I have progress. I took this step, and how am I feeling? How I have developed myself? What have I, learned about myself that I didn't know before? One step behind or two steps behind. How has my story changed now that I'm two steps ahead versus two steps behind? And so I can, moment to moment, one step at a time, I can recognize myself in my progress, in my experience. Okay, how is my resistance now? Am I still clear about what for was the purpose of this step? What have I learned about me and how I have decided to feel through this process? Even though holding the hand of fear, holding the hand of doubt, and while I'm anchored in my trust, in my clarity of reflecting, self-reflection constantly, and understanding what's the purpose of what for I'm doing this, taking this step and following my heart. And so the last piece is that before taking that step, I go even like maybe 10 steps ahead of me. And it's like, okay, when I'm 10 steps ahead, how do I believe I'm gonna feel? Okay, I'm gonna make it up, but I'm gonna have a sense. If I take 10 steps now in that direction, how I'm gonna feel after I took those 10 steps? Most likely I'm gonna feel fulfilled because I took the steps towards something that it felt scary for me and yet I wanted to do it. And so once my head, my mind goes with me and my body and my heart, they all go in alignment, then it's easier to take that step. And then as I'm taking that step and feeling the discomfort of stepping into the new, with one hand my fear, one hand my doubts, anchored in the calling of my heart, my love, my clarity, my trust, I can move forward. And knowing that when I reach that 10 steps, that's how I'm feeling, that's why for I'm doing it. Then it's just easier. The resistance begins to melt away. And maybe it's still there, but it's not as heightened as it was that left me frozen here, like not taking that step. And so the inner battle within myself ceases and I befriend myself. Instead of pushing against it and battling against myself, and against my resistance and against my fears in a way and my doubt, and that's the symptom, I just go in and understand why the symptom is there. And as I understand, I care for myself. I give myself the medicine that I need, and therefore I become my own antidote. So I hope that helped. And I'm going to leave you with the soulful inquiry so you can dive into this piece of this way, how you resist your transformation and following the calling of your heart. Subscribe if you love this content, and please share your questions, your answers. Please share the soulful inquiry on the comments as well, as we are here together, transforming together in beauty and following and daring greatly to follow the calling of your heart as we heal together and as we grow all together. Lots of love. Bye bye.